how would you respond to this idea that these are like the children, the women, the animals, they're innocent. They've done nothing
Well,
wrong.
let's deal with them in order. First of all, when it comes to adults, I mean, uh, to say that they were innocent is that's just simply again you're being the person who thinks that there were some innocent individuals there is being omniscient. Because again, the Creator in the case with Sodom and Gomorrah, in the case of, like I say in Jeremiah 5, is saying there's not anybody righteous there. If there was one righteous person, I'd spare them. Then we move on to children, which of course, and I've blogged on the children issue quite a bit. We move on to the children issue, and here's where Paul has done me a great service. Paul and Copan and Matthew Flanagan too, in the later book. It's not always wrong to kill the innocent. That's a conversation we could have at some length, but it's not always wrong to kill the innocent. When during 9/11, when Flight 93 was headed towards we don't know what, probably the Capitol or the White House. We sent planes to knock it down, knock it out of the sky. Now, it happened to go down before we got there, but I don't think if we had done that anybody, although it would have killed innocent people, that we would have said the United States was morally wrong to take the lives of those on Flight 93, because they would be doing it to spare more lives, because their lives were pretty much already lost if they were to, and obviously if they ran into a building, then they're going to be lost for sure and kill a lot more people to boot. Now that doesn't mean it's not abhorrent, the idea that these people's lives had to be taken or were going to be taken if the plane hadn't gone down before that. But it's not always wrong to kill the innocent. And so children, there may have been small children who indeed had not committed any of these sins. That's true. But then you're left with a situation. What are you going to do with them? I mean, if you adopt them, that's a problem. So you really only have three choices. You kill them quickly. You leave them just to be exposed into the wilderness, and then they're going to be eaten by wild animals and snakes and who knows what. Or you adopt them. Obviously, the first one's what he commanded. The second one would have been worse. The third, adoption. The trouble there is people think, well, you could just adopt all these kids in. And Ryan, honestly, this is something that you and I could probably talk about for 2 hours. I know we don't have that, but we could talk about this for 2 hours. I know a lot about this. I blogged on this a lot. Jeannie and I took in some abused foster children, and I guarantee you they bring their ways into the household. And I'm talking about if you bring in any older children at all, they bring their ways into the household. And people want to do this. Yeah, but love will find a way. I'm sorry, but that's just simply false. You could not bring wholesale in thousands of Canaanite children and not have them pollute Israel, which God was absolutely intent on not occurring. I could go on that, but there's a nutshell.
Well, he kind of goes on and he addresses that, and he says to say that ordering the death of the children is okay because they will be saved and automatically go into heaven in the next life, he says is one of the most disgusting things he's ever heard.
Well, that wouldn't be why they're being ordered to be killed. That would be something that mitigates the fact that they're being killed, that they're going to be saved. And see, that's not the reason their lives were taken. The reasons their lives were taken is so that they wouldn't corrupt future generations of Israelites. And I'll tell you, like I say, and I can't go into a lot of detail here, but I'm just saying, taking in some of the kids that we took in, they bring their cultures with them. Also, children desperately want to know, when they're adopted, they desperately want to know about their birth families. It's insatiable. And so they're going to say to their parents, so, what habits were my parents doing that made you want to take their lives? And then all of a sudden they're going to be seeking other gods. And can you imagine teenage rebellion against parents when you killed
their birth parents?
You killed their birth parents because of sins their birth parents were committing, and you expect these kids are not going to sit there and you'd have to sleep with one eye open all the time because they're going to come and get you. It's just, but this is something, like I say, you and I could unpack this for an hour, because it's such a big issue, and I've given it a lot of thought, but it just isn't so, that you could just simply adopt these kids into your household and love would find a way. That's just simply naive.